Mr. Michael Tolley was recently selected by the Northshore School Board to serve as the new superintendent for our district. Mr. Tolley served as interim superintendent during the 2022 to 2023 school year. He has worked in public education for over 30 years and transformed the lives of students, their families, and the community. His core values of racial and educational justice, collaboration, transparency, and data-informed decision-making skills have supported districts across the country to make positive change for their students. I've already been personally affected by Mr. Tolley's selection. I'm a member of the Inglemoor High School rowing team. 2 weeks ago, the Northshore School District rowing program was almost shut down due to funding concerns. The program is extremely important to me as a rower because it provided me with a welcoming community and the opportunity to develop my teamwork and sportsmanship skills. Lucky for us, Mr. Tolley is an advocate for the program and was able to get us back up and running in just a couple of days. Mr. Tolley has the vision, skills, and experience to lead and support Northshore School District families and students into the future. Please join me in welcoming Superintendent Tolley to the stage.
Come on. Thank you, Marco. Well, I have to say, it's truly an honor to be able to stand on the stage in front of you all. I mean, community members, as mentioned, there's so many educators in the room, so many staff from Northshore Schools here today. And we have students here, and of course, that most importantly, our students are here representing as well. And of course, we also have the Northshore Schools Foundation. So all of you in the room, thank you all for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to serve as superintendent here in the Northshore School District. It's truly an honor, and it's all about our kids. You know, of course, the light's blinding, so I can't see, but just before coming here, I was at Northshore Middle School, and when I do school visits, and I have to talk about the fact I was at West Hill this morning and then Northshore Middle this afternoon, but when I do school visits, I actually have an opportunity to meet with staff and students and visit classrooms. And I was visiting with students, and of course, they, you know, at the end of the visit, I have questions for them, but they can ask me questions. And at the end of the visit, the question came up, well, how long have you been doing this? And I'm like, okay, so I avoided that question. I basically listed my resume. I didn't give them all the details. But the other question they asked is, well, why do you even want to be a superintendent? What's that all about? And it was very easy to answer. It's about the students. My why is making sure kids get what they need. Absolutely. What, you know, and I learned that early on. As many of you know, I'm originally from the southeast coast, the deep south, people refer to Charleston, South Carolina. And I began teaching as a substitute teacher, actually. I was doing other work at night, so I substitute taught in the daytime, and I got a long-term sub job teaching math. And I discovered it was as much as about teaching the content as about teaching kids, making sure they get what they need to be successful. And I've actually seen the impact of kids or students getting an excellent education and the impact that then has on their families and then what that has on the community. The connection is very clear to me. So when I think about Northshore's mission statement, strengthening our community through excellence in education, there it is. I mean, and that's why all of you are here tonight, because I know that that's a commitment that you have as well. And I thank you for your commitment to the students in Northshore and to public education in general. It is critically important. But it's also important to understand that we can't do this work as a district by ourselves. We have to partner with our community. We have to, one of the best partners we can have here in Northshore, and that's the Northshore Schools Foundation. And so I'm going to try to give you some examples of how the relationship between what you've heard so much of this today around the work that they're doing and how that connects directly to the work of the district. And I like to frame that through our district strategic plan. As many of you know, we have a 5-year strategic plan we actually had a plan that started in 2017 and went through 2022, and that plan has 5 goals. But that plan over the last year or so, the school board and school board members, thank you for being here, actually took the time to take a look at that plan and made some adjustments to it. They refreshed the plan. The plan has 5 goals, and right now it has 26 measures, and they did some adjustments to the measures. But the reason I mention it is that plan kind of serves as our promise to the community as to this is what we're going to deliver on for our students. And again, as I said, it's all about our students. So those 5 goals are critically important to the work that I've worked in the role of superintendent. So I want to walk through each of those goals and give you an example of how the work of the Northshore Schools Foundation connects to that. Goal 1 is all about success in the early years. And one prime example is this year we are really focused on making sure we meet one measure in that goal, and that is making sure our students are reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. So we have a new set of instructional materials, first time in over 10 years that we have a common set of instructional materials for our teachers to teach our students to read. That's a tremendous step forward for us at North Shore. And again, when I was at West Hill this morning, I asked teachers, hey, what's going well? And they said, well, we have a common set of instructional materials. That's working for us. At the same time, though, we know that over the last few years, without that, there's more work that had to be done. Northshore Schools Foundation has been investing in early literacy for our students for years. They have actually funded over 225 classroom libraries over the years. They've invested in, and you heard about it actually a few minutes ago, in all of our elementary libraries, making sure that we have books that we can put in the hands of students. More importantly, putting books in the hands of students that have content that represents their culture. Yes, absolutely. So that's so important that, and as was mentioned, for students to be able to see themselves in the materials that they're reading. So thank you, Foundation, for investing in our youngest learners' literacy development. That's critically important. Goal 2 is all about developing responsible, resilient, empathetic learners. So when I think about this one and the connection that the Foundation has been doing, we think about student wellness. And as you know, over the last few years, we've had some major impacts on our students in their mental health, and even going back to when we closed schools in 2020. The Northshore Schools Foundation declared it a crisis and actually made it possible for any family that had a student in Northshore Schools to be able to apply for funds to support immediate needs. And I know it may be too soon to think back to March of 2020, but when that happened, there was a lot of need within our community, and Northshore Schools Foundation was there. During that time, they actually were able to grant $200 to families just to reduce the stress that was occurring at the time. At that time, between March of 2020 through June of 2020, they contributed about $140,000 to our families in this community. Over 700 families relied on that support. That's a clear example, so thank you again to the Foundation for supporting our community. And the direct impact that had on our students is clear. They continue in that area under this particular thing about mental health supports. You heard earlier that they've actually provided supports for our mental health therapists at the elementary level, investing in materials to support our students, because that work continues. We're still recovering from the pandemic, and they're here to support our students in that way. Goal 3 is making sure that our students continue to grow academically, but also to eliminate opportunities and outcome gaps. So the Foundation is there. We have students who, through their efforts, become eligible for regional, state, and national level competitions, but may not have the funds to be able to participate. Northshore Schools Foundation has stepped in and supported that. Another example in this particular area, we have probably one of the most diverse groups of families. We have over 100 languages and dialects spoken in North Shore. And the foundation actually supports our world language library to make sure all across our district, our students are able to access content, again, in their own home languages. So again, thank you for that support. Another example, well, let's go into goal 4 is making sure that we have, or we're cultivating innovative, creative, and critical thinkers. That work is so critically important to the foundation. As you just heard, they actually recognize and name an Innovative Educator of the Year every year. So again, thank you to Holly Herberson for that work that we just had a video about. That's tremendous work with, and again, support of that. But we also have the foundation investing in our classrooms. There are classroom grants that also support innovation within every one of our classrooms. You heard about that. And what I need, I haven't actually accessed this yet, there is a Superintendent Innovation Fund to support research and development within the district. I've got to talk to Carmen a little bit more about that one. Okay, so, but again, the foundation is there to support us. And then the final goal is making sure that our students are ready for lifelong success after graduation. And there are a lot of examples, and I was told to just give one example for each of these, but I was like, I know a few more. So there are a number of examples for example, our career and technical education programming. The foundation has always been there to support that particular program when they need volunteers for those activities and having the open houses and all. The foundation is always there to support that. As you heard earlier there, they partnered with the North Shore Council PTA to put on the first ever virtual program this year. We had over 900 students and family members participate in that virtual career in college fair. Again, thank you to the foundation for that work as well. And I guess the final example, they've actually been serving as a thought partner, because when I have been doing what I called my Listen and Learning Tour earlier this year, we actually found that our families kind of knew that there are some resources out in the district that they can tap into, but there was no one place that all of our families could go to get the information they need. So we've been partnering with the foundation to put together what we're referring to as a Family Engagement Resource Center, so that there's a one-stop shop. So particularly for our students and families that are furthest away from racial and educational justice, we're talking about our students that are learning the English language, our LGBTQ population, our students with disabilities, our students of color. Families need to be able to quickly access information in a timely manner. So we've been partnered with the foundation to figure out how does that look? How can we do? And I'm excited to announce that this spring we're going to be putting that in place so that we can better serve our students and their families. So I'm going to stop because I know there's more to come. So thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in our students. And I just want to thank the foundation for all the work that they do.